Hello everyone, it's Everything Buzz City here, back again with another video. I know it's been a long time. A lot of things have changed, a lot of things have happened. There really wasn't any reason to make any videos for a while, but now, off season, things are interesting. Let's talk about some of the things that the Charlotte Hornets have done, but I want to give kind of a twist. I don't want to just talk about what the team did and my opinion on the moves, whatever. I kind of want to take a more skeptical review of where the Charlotte Hornets are actually at in terms of a franchise, in terms of roster construction, drafting, all these things. So it's going to be kind of a honest look, with more of a look on being skeptical of things. But we're also going to give positive feedback at the end of the video. I just want this video to kind of be able for you to kind of think about things differently, and not be overly positive about things and be more realistic of where this team is at, because I've seen a lot of fans really excited, and I just want to dial down that excitement, because there's a chance this team could be good, but it's a lot of what ifs, and if this goes right, that goes right, this, and this, and I just want to talk about some of the problems. So, let's go ahead and dive into it. Alright, we're going to start at the very start of this offseason for the Charlotte Hornets, where it started at the draft. Okay, and the Charlotte Hornets ended up drafting, I believe, 4 players. Okay, they ended up trading Mark Williams to get a first-round pick to draft Liam, a shooter out of UConn, a top recruit, had a very bad freshman year. I'm kind of like, I have to see with him, but he has a beautiful shot. Like, he has a great shot. He does have question marks, but in terms of just being like a Grayson Allen type of player, more of a just catch and shoot wing guy off the bench, I can see that. Con Kneppel, we drafted him over Ace Bailey. If you know, I was an Ace Bailey guy. I loved VJ, I loved Ace. Those were my top 2 guys for us. But they ended up going with Con. Kind of my questions with Con right now is, at the next level, can he play through those contact drives? Because that's really how he plays, especially when he's getting to the rim. He isn't just like a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. Like, this is a guy who cooks in the post, drives, bump drives. He uses his shoulders very well, plays through contact. That's kind of like how he plays in terms of driving. And I'm kind of questioning, okay, are you going to be able to be strong enough at the next level to be successful? Because the same looks he was getting at Duke against Georgia Tech just is not the same thing he's going to be getting against the Memphis Grizzlies, against the Atlanta Hawks, against NBA talent, right? We also drafted a 7-foot center. We are going to get into the center rotation later on. We also drafted Zion James. He's a wing, 5-year player. Both of our second-round picks were 5-year players. And that's kind of my question here. So Jeff Peterson is obviously putting a lot of money, a lot of faith into all 4 of these rookies, because all 4 of them are on standard deals. 2 second-round picks on standard deals, just as you don't see that a lot, right? Before we move forward, let's talk about Ryan Kalkbrenner, the center that we drafted out of Creighton this season. A 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Last year, he averaged 19 points per game, 8.7 rebounds per game on 65% shooting, and almost 3 blocks a game. This is a player that I had a first-round grade on. He's one of the more interesting players, and I ended up watching Creighton especially during their game versus UConn and a couple others, and during the attorney. He was an interesting player, and in one game he really struggled, and it was because the team that he was playing was running, I believe it was UConn, but they were very physical, and he really struggled finishing through contact, and speed was another thing, and his shot just was not falling around the rim. He kind of reminded me a lot of Purdue Zach Edey in terms of how he gets paint touches, but he got a lot of paint touches and he got good looks. He just wasn't hitting, and he's a really good playmaker as well in the post. But he's also able on a fast breaks to get a block and then run. So this is a guy where I'm looking at, and you put that with LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, a center that's willing to run, like run. And that was one problem with Mark, is he would get tired a lot, and he just struggled in terms of giving full effort in terms of like run. So I think that's interesting with him, but he is a big center. Like, this dude is very big. I think he's like 7'1", 7'2", but he also has a three-point shot. The dude shot about, I believe, like 34% from distance last season. So he's a very interesting prospect. Who knows how he's gonna work in terms of the NBA? Is he going to be the rotation player immediately? We don't know. So Jeff Peterson, he is coming from the perspective of, okay, I got experienced guys, right? Calk, Zion, 5-year players, okay? But I also have youth in the other two, but those more fit in terms of where they don't have to come in and be really like ball handlers and all that. They can play kind of as role players. So he's putting a lot of faith into these guys, and I mean, when that happens, like, these are rookies, like they're rookies, so it's kind of tough for me to say, okay, this guy's gonna come in immediately and he's gonna be a role player, a great role player. Like, that's just not how it works, bro. There's guys that you think should be for sure good players, for sure good role players. We see it every year, and they just don't come in and make that type of impact. And the draft is a lottery ticket, right? So I can't say this player or that player is going to be this or that. So that's kind of a skeptical look on it. If one of those rookies don't fit, I think Zion can. You can wait on him. So, but really the first three, definitely. We need to see something from those three immediately, especially that center rotation. We're going to talk about that. Center rotation of Musa Diabate. We have Ryan Kalkbrenner. You have Mason Plumlee. That is your three centers. Just not a very not good at all. Combined this year, they have a little bit over $7 million in the center rotation. That is crazy. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. We got Musa starting 6'9". I believe Musa is more of a backup energy guy. Whenever he's able to come off the bench, you see his impact quick. It's so fast, because I think Musa is good enough to where he can dominate backup bigs. Like, he can just dominate them 100%, right? But as a starter, you have to do that where you're playing 8 minutes straight. You know, I just don't know throughout an entire season with him. It's interesting to see what Kalkbrenner is going to be able to do. I like him as a prospect. He's a true, like, center who can get the ball, post up, play make, he can shoot, he can score in the post. The only problem with him is really going to be his speed, and also sometimes he struggles with really physical centers. So that's going to be the question for me as you watch him throughout his career. But this is a 5-year player, so he should be able to come in and be like a role piece, at least like a backup for now. But we signed Mason Plumlee. Who knows what happens with that, right? You guys know I'm not a Mason Plumlee guy. I'm not. I think he's washed. I watched a pretty good portion of his time in Phoenix. Just wasn't good. He's just not good, man. He's not an NBA rotation dude anymore. At one point he was. Now he's just not. He's just not. He just probably shouldn't be in the league, honestly. So that is what it is with him. Now, I want to move on and look at some of the holes, in my opinion, with the roster. Here we are looking at the Hornets rotation. We did sign Spencer Dinwiddie to a 1-year deal. We re-signed Trey Mann. I think it was a 3-year, $24 million contract. We traded for Pat Connaughton as well. Signed Mason Plumlee. And those are really the only moves that have been made. Our free agents, Seth Curry, probably not going to come back. Wendell Moore, not going to come back. Todd Gibson, not going to come back. Right now, the Hornets are at the max of 19 players. Okay? And they have a good amount of money that is non-guaranteed. Interesting to see what they do with Josh Okogie. I think you could possibly get a better option than him, but for me, the wing position in terms of depth just isn't very good. Grant's going to be out next year, so that means Salon's going to get playing time. Pat Connaughton, I don't think he's he's also another guy who's kind of washed. He did have a good game, but in terms like of an entire season, like he's just kind of we'll kind of see. But I don't know if you bring back Josh. I honestly, maybe you do if you're looking at all of the free agents that are available. Maybe you do, or you use these contracts, these 2 deals. I mean, that's about $9 million here. I think they can use that in a trade, which I've been eyeing, because I look at this roster, and Miles Bridges just cannot be starting on this roster right now. I mean, this defense is terrible. Like, interior-wise, it's horrible. Like, Diabate is a good defender, but that's 6'6" and 6'9". Like, you're just going to get cooked against bigger, stronger players, like, stronger lineups. Like, that's just... And then you got Grant Williams. He's 6'6". Mason Plumlee, 7 foot, but not really good. Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's 7 foot plus. You know, so we lack that size. I would like to get a traditional big, either at the 4 or the 5. But we'll kind of see what they're able to cook in the upcoming days and possible weeks. But I also wanted to touch on the timeline for this roster, right? And kind of this team. I think right now, when I look at all our picks, I believe next year we have our first round pick, and then the year after that we have 3 firsts. I believe it's time to make some moves, and that's kind of my question when it comes to Jeff Peterson, right? Are you willing to, when the time comes to make those trades that it takes to put this team in a situation where we're actually winning, right? Like, it's cool, like, oh, I want to rebuild, I want to draft this, draft that. I question your drafting ability. I do. Like, we'll see how Con works out, but, you know, you have a history of making some weird picks, and you come from a front office that did make weird picks. The Nets, they made extremely, like, weird, high potential, low floor type of guys, and some of them worked out where they turned out to be solid role players, but for the most part, it hasn't done anything for them. So I kind of question that, but he needs to be willing. Really, what Charlotte needs to do is willing to spend money in free agency. That's the name of the game. Can you bring in those guys? You have the best player in your franchise history. You have Brandon Miller. You have a good duo. You have a good foundation. You have to be able to talk good role players into joining your team. Because if it's not this team, if it's not these two that we got right now, then it's just never gonna happen for Charlotte. It's never gonna happen. So he has to be able to do that. But I want to end on a good note. Some of the positive things: signing Trey Mann, that was a great deal. Trading Nurkic for Sexton and a second. I mean, when I look at our backcourt, like, I just love this. Like, I love the ability to Mitch match. Like, it really doesn't matter who starts here, right? So Miller's probably going to be the 3. You could start Con, you could start Sexton, you could start Mann, right? And you can, like, mismatch so much with this roster, with Dinwiddie being a backup guy that you can come in, if there's injuries or whatever. He might have a rotation as well. I kind of don't know what the plan is with Spencer, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. I just want to see us more aggressive in free agency over the next few years. This year, it's looking like we're not going to be that aggressive. I think our biggest signing was Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, that's crazy. Like, and this is 2 years straight. But again, we're trying to be objective as much as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was kind of short. I'll try to start making more content, a little bit more often than I have been. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Help me out in that field. Comment, all those things. Subscribe, like the video. Thank you. This is Everything Buzz City, and I'm out. Peace, guys.